Hey, it's Lou again, and thanks for checking in for another installment of A Common Sense Patriot. If you never have or never do watch another installment, please watch this one. It does take a bit of setup to really understand the point, so bear with me, but I believe you'll find it valuable. A couple of years ago, I was reading the Constitution and suddenly had a huge aha moment. I read something that I'd read several times over the course of my life, dating back to U.S. history in junior high school, I guess, but I'd never understood it quite like I did that day. 4 words suddenly jumped out at me, and I was at once enlightened and enraged. Maybe you'll have the same reaction as you see the huge disparity between what our framers designed and what politicians, both sides of the aisle, have forced on we the people. And though there is certainly more than one smoking gun on where we veered off course as a country, I believe wholeheartedly this is one of them, and a big one. Today, I want to share some things about the preamble to our Constitution, and 4 words in particular. The preamble is the introduction to the Constitution, basically laying out what our government is supposed to be responsible for, and therefore what it's supposed to spend we the people's money on, and why the Constitution was written in the first place. So let's take a look at what our brilliant founders wrote all those years ago. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. That short yet profound statement is the very bedrock of our government's responsibilities, and just as importantly, if not more so, its limitations. Call it what it is: the mission statement for our government. It spells out what the government of the United States is supposed to do and why. Oh, you'll hear it argued that it doesn't assign power to the federal government or limit the government. Well, of course you'll hear that, as our government doesn't want to be limited in any way. Our power-hungry politicians want unlimited power to rule us. And that pesky preamble would get in the way if the courts would actually pay it any mind. You'll also hear it argued that it was just put in at the last minute. Okay, what's the point? A rocket heading to space isn't generally fueled until the last minute. A soldier doesn't put a round in the chamber until the last minute before a battle. And dinner isn't removed from the oven until the last minute before it's served. Does that make the rocket fuel, or the bullet, or the casserole any less important to the launch, or the battle, or the dinner? So why does the timing of the preamble becoming a part of our Constitution have anything to do with its validity or meaning? It doesn't. Now, this section is really important to understanding why the 4 words I'm going to show you are so hugely significant and have been so misused and so bastardized and cost we the people trillions upon trillions upon trillions of dollars. The first phrase of the preamble is, we the people of the United States. Yeah, we the people. Not we the government, not we the politicians, not we the wealthy or we the poor, not we the ethnic or we the white, we the male or we the female, we the straight or we the homosexual, we the atheist or we the Christian. And definitely not we the liberal or we the conservative. But we the people. All of us. The collective. Keep that word collective on your radar. Next, in order to form a more perfect union. Form is defined as bring together parts or combine to create. Then, a more perfect union. Notice it doesn't say a perfect union, but rather a more perfect one. Knowing full well that there is nothing man-made that is perfect, but to strive for better or closer to perfection is certainly a worthy undertaking. So in essence, this phrase says to try to get closer to perfection in the operation of a nation comprised of diverse and individual people and states. Establish justice. The definition of establish is to set up on a firm or permanent basis, to achieve permanent acceptance or recognition for. And justice is defined as the quality of being fair and reasonable, and the administration of the law or authority in maintaining this. So what this says is that we're going to create a set of good laws, and we're going to live by them and apply them equally. We haven't, and we don't, of course, but I talk about that in the Equal Justice series if you're interested. Ensure domestic tranquility. Ensure is defined as secure or protect against. Domestic is existing or occurring inside a particular country, and tranquility is the quality or state of being tranquil, calm. So here it's saying very clearly that it's the responsibility of the government to maintain the peace and calm here at home in the United States. I'd say that means law enforcement, National Guard, fire departments, etc. The things that keep the peace, the calm, the tranquility here inside the borders of our country. Next is provide for the common defense. Provide defines as make available for use, supply. Common is belonging to, open to, or affecting the whole of a community or the public. And defense is military measures or resources for protecting a country. Obviously, this is referring to our military and its responsibility to protect us from outside aggression. And secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity. Secure is defined as not subject to threat, certain to remain or continue safe and unharmed. Blessings are God's favor and protection. Liberty is the state of being free within society from oppressive restrictions imposed by authority on one's way of life, behavior, or political views. Ourselves is obvious, and our posterity is all future generations of people. So here, our government is guaranteeing to protect our God-given freedoms to live without oppressive authority from anywhere, including government itself, and to protect the same for every American citizen into the future forever. Gee, how politically incorrect and insensitive and offensive of our founders to invoke the God of the universe in this undertaking. Do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. Ordain, to order or decree officially. And we've already looked at what establish means, so it says this is being officially and permanently ordered. Oh, sorry. I seem to have left a very important part of the preamble out. Gee, what was I thinking? Oh yeah. It's the part about welfare. It says the government is supposed to, quote, promote the general welfare, end quote. Well, folks, it's my belief that the abandonment, or maybe more accurately, the twisting of those four words, is ground zero for much of the derailment of our government and culture. So now let's examine very closely that promote the general welfare part. This is the focal point of this video and is absolutely vital for we the people to understand. Promote is to further the progress of, support, or actively encourage. It is extremely noteworthy to recognize that the word promote is a very different type of word than establish, ensure, provide, or secure, which are the words used earlier in the preamble. We'll look at that further in a minute. Next is the word general, and this is also huge. General is defined as affecting or concerning all or most people, not specialized or limited in range. In essence, the collective. That word I asked you to keep on your mind earlier. And finally, welfare is the health, happiness, and fortunes of a person or group. First, the things in the preamble that are established or insured or provided or secured are the things that are supposed to be, for lack of a better word, guaranteed. Those things are supposed to be the primary activities and focus of our government. And very importantly, what they are supposed to spend we the people's money on, the tax dollars the government collects from us. Our very smart framers, in using the words promote and general when referring to welfare, injected a very different type of word, indeed, with promote, and a very specific limitation on the beneficiary group with general. Based on the definition of the word promote, but just as importantly, based on the practical application of the word, when something is promoted, it is not guaranteed or insured or provided or secured. It is simply promoted. Like the cheerleading squad and drill team putting up posters and having a rally to promote the homecoming game on Friday night. Or a realtor signing a listing agreement and promoting a seller's home. Or a campaign manager promoting their candidate. In no case is there a guarantee. The cheerleaders and drill teamers aren't ensuring the stands will be full on Friday. The realtor isn't providing a guarantee to the seller that their home will sell or at what price. The campaign manager isn't securing the election for their candidate. Not at all. They're simply encouraging and supporting desired outcomes. So I fail to understand how promote in our Constitution's preamble has somehow changed meaning to become secure or insure or provide. How did an American citizen's own welfare morph from being personal responsibility into a government guarantee? How did we get from we'll try to help where we can, but only if we have leftover resources from doing all of the other things we're mandated to do by the preamble, to our government guaranteeing a certain level of income or health care or lifestyle, while using we the people's money to do it, and then borrowing trillions more and burying all of our future generations. I think it's also noteworthy to recognize that promoting the general welfare is last on the list in the preamble. Furthermore, and this is just as important, where does our government get off spending we the people's money on any special interest group? How can our money be spent on any specific income segment or ethnic group or lifestyle group or political agenda or age group, study grant or subsidy or financial aid to other countries, or immigrants, whether legal or illegal, or anything else for that matter, if it doesn't benefit all Americans pretty much equally. It says specifically the general welfare, not the welfare of any special interest group, but the general, the collective of all Americans. None of the money our federal government collects from us is supposed to be spent on anything that doesn't benefit we the people collectively and pretty much equally. It says promote the general welfare. It does not say guarantee anyone's welfare or promote any special interest. This is incredibly important, but overlooked and or misunderstood. It's a foundational statement about our country and our government mandates. It's all about encouraging the welfare of the collective, but by no means is it any kind of guarantee. Look, we are free to pursue life, liberty, and happiness. It's imperative, though, to understand that happiness isn't guaranteed in any way in our Constitution. It is encouraged. But if your happiness is dependent upon a certain lifestyle or collection of possessions, then you're free to lawfully pursue those things in our capitalistic economic model. But no level of possessions or lifestyle is guaranteed to anyone by we the people. Let's look at what Thomas Jefferson had to say about how our government spends our money. To compel a man to subsidize with his taxes the propagation of ideas which he disbelieves and abhors is sinful and tyrannical. Why should my tax dollars be spent on funding Planned Parenthood and abortions? Why should my tax dollars be sent to Iran on a pallet of cash in the middle of the night? Why should my hard-earned money be spent to provide anything for people who illegally come to my country, while I'm being told my money can't be spent on a wall to protect all Americans from their invasion? Why should I fund a grant for the study of yellow-bellied sapsuckers in Peru? Why should my tax dollars fund any special interest? So folks, I hope this has opened your eyes a little to how far off base our government has gotten from its original design, and in particular how unlawfully they are spending we the people's money. Our money. You really need to get your arms around that. It's not the government's money to spend in the first place. It's our money. It makes me so mad when I hear someone say the government pays for it, or the government provides this or that. People, the government doesn't have a cent it didn't take out of your wallet or bank account or paycheck first. Not 1 cent. I'm going to stop here and let y'all ponder that one a bit. Think, if you care, about how much of we the people's money has been spent in total contradiction to how our foundational document specifically states it's to be spent. Think how much of your money has been spent that you didn't benefit from one bit. In the next short installment, which I'll call the USS America, I'll show you all some simple dollars and cents math that will give some insight into where we are and where we are inevitably headed. Anyway, I hope you all can see something very, very important, very, very differently as a result of this presentation. Again, I'm Lou, and I'm a common sense patriot. Godspeed, everyone.